All right, all right. Welcome home and welcome to base. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I'm going to play a little intro video for fun and then we'll start getting into it. All right, that is our community created intro video. I just love it so much that I have to play it for every live stream. We were on live stream. We ended up being on live for 9 hours yesterday. It was a very, very fun session. We ended up doing a little vibe coding session for about 5 hours with Jacob, who's building a little check-in app. We're running in real life workshops around the world over the next 2 weeks in collaboration with Base, leading up to Base batches. And Jacob and Rafi actually just about finished up the Homebase check-in app, so everyone can actually confirm that they did indeed check in real life at these base events. Rafi, do you want to share a little bit about the current build before we get into it?
No, sorry, let's proceed. Like the check-in will be ready in like one or 2 hours, so not
Oh,
yet.
it's that close.
Yeah.
And I know that you're going to be turning into a mini app, so maybe if you want to do that live later today, we can do that as well. I mean, you don't necessarily have to do it. Skoho is going to be on in an hour for another build session, so uh, if you want to do it live or Skoho wants to do it live, totally up to you guys.
That'll be great.
All right, let's do it. And everyone, make sure you send your base names in the chat. Send your ENS, send your ETH address. If you don't have an ENS, if you don't have a base name, send your ETH address. If you do have a base name, go ahead, send your base name. I'm going to be continuing to say that throughout the entire show. So, I guess Cody will be here any second. Why don't we start introducing ourselves and then we can showcase a little bit what we're working on, what we do, and why we're here, what we love so much about this space. Linda, if you'd like to start us off, feel free.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm Linda. I work on growing the developer ecosystem at Farcaster. Joined the team like 2 months ago. Prior to that, was working on Bountycaster for a year with my co-founder Daniel, which is bounties on top of Farcaster. We're still doing it on the side, but joined the Farcaster team to put in our efforts together to help grow. Yeah, I'm obsessed with mini apps. I think this is one of the game changers for Farcaster, which is why I was like so excited to join the team because I think mini apps plus on-chain transactions plus permissionless social graph is something you don't get anywhere else, and excited to just support builders and see what gets built.
I completely agree, and thank God we have too many app builders right here with us today. Dylan Stack Rafi, I'd love to, Dylan, why don't you go ahead and share a little bit about yourself and maybe at least three of the 100 different projects that you're working on. And if you'd like to show your screen and share any of the mini apps that you've been working on, feel free.
My screen's a little too messy for a screen share right now, but I can give a bit of an overview. Hey, my name is Dylan. I'm an engineer at Base working on Coinbase Wallet. I've also been focused a lot recently on mini apps, both building mini apps and also making sure that we can best support mini app developers in the upcoming Coinbase Wallet. I've been working a lot as well on FarHack and FarCon happening next week, and have been mostly leading the Builders Day. FarHack is going to be happening and putting out different developer resources for that. And also at any moment now, I'm going to put out some more information about the actual bounties that are going to be happening there. So just really excited about all of that. Love Farcaster. I've been on it for a while. Really excited about what mini apps offer. Just feels like a great time, and happy to be here and support.
Amazing. I'm going to force you to showcase at least a couple of your mini apps later. So start cleaning up your screen. Rafi, how are you doing today? And who are you?
Hi, I'm Rafi at Farcaster. I've been part of Farcaster for like the community for the last 2 years, and I've been building like many different apps. Like I think I started doing kind of like a Farcaster analytics platform 2 years ago. It was called Farway. Unfortunately, this gone now. But my recent project is called Frametown, which is a no-code builder for the Frames V1. I'm right now working on the version to support the Frames V2 or mini applications. Yeah, and also like with Luciana, I'm working on Homebase. So yeah, this is who I am.
Amazing. All right, I want to just get started with a very simple question. And we've already gone over in most of the other live streams what Farcaster is, what mini apps are, and all that good stuff, all the service level stuff. So now we can really get into the weeds. But the first question I'll start out with is, of course, what is your favorite mini app? What do you use the most, and why? Linda, would you like to start again?
Yeah, I mean, the one that I use the most is definitely Farguesser. I think they just did such an incredible job of it's basically GeoGuessr, but in a mini app. But every day there's a new location where you can guess. And it's fun because you can also see like where others in your social graph guess too. So you can see how off everyone was. Yeah, I just really like it because it's something to come back to every day and it's really fun. And the one that I think so underrated that I've been spending more time playing is Cat Town. It's so good. Like it's a full-on game within a mini app, and it's like a whole world that they've created with cats, and there's like fishing and supermarket and like all these mini games within the game. So highly recommend checking out Cat Town.
Yeah, I completely agree. We actually had the Cat Town founder on the other day, and it was really cool to see, to see it live and see it played. I'm definitely gonna have to dig deeper. And Farguesser is so much fun. I can't get enough of Farguesser. But Cody, you have just joined us. We're talking about our favorite mini apps. Well, Dylan and Raphael asked you what your favorite mini apps are as well. But first, let's introduce Cody. And Cody, what are you building, and why do you love Farcaster so much? Oh, you're muted. Sorry. You have to unmute
muted.
yourself. There you go. Nice.
Hello, Luciano. Sorry about that. Sorry for being a little late. So I've been working on a couple mini apps like Linda. I think the format is just really fascinating. It's wild to have a bunch of users you can authenticate immediately and then have wallets all connected to them. The two apps I've been working on lately, one of them is called SideQuest, which is like a Kickstarter inside of Farcaster. We used that recently to fund a really interesting project called Quotient. The second mini app I've been working on is called Gems, which is just we took one of the most popular online gambling games and put it in a frame and made it free to play. But the question was, what apps do I like using? For Linda, I agree with Linda. I think Farguesser is really amazing. I watch GeoGuessr a lot, and it's very amusing to have it in the frame and have it be a daily thing. So I like little things like that take a known game and just make it very, very social and in line in the feed.
Cody, I mean, I hate to start off the stream with such a hard-hitting question, but how do you feel about Seed Club coming out with a competitor at the same exact time?
Wow, way to go! Right into the thing. I honestly think it's such a small world in Farcaster right now. Like everybody needs to just to make interesting apps. So I think it will be more symbiotic than anything. Yeah, I think we need to focus on growing the pie. So there's that.
Good. I love that answer. That's kind of what I was expecting. So, all right, Rafi, Dylan, what are your favorite mini apps? And by the way, I will ask all of you today to showcase what you've been building in your mini app. So you better clean up your screens enough so you can share later, at least by the end of the call. And Kartik's going to be hopping on in about 20 minutes as well. So be prepared.
Okay, I'll list a couple quickly. I think Warp Slot is great. They basically have some funds of different Farcaster native tokens, and it's like a little slot machine. And if you get, all three correct, and you get airdrop some, it goes to your preferred wallet, which is pretty slick.
Dylan, the slot machine guy, I never would have thought.
It's fun. Earn on Morpho is another great one. Like whenever I get my USDC rewards, I use Sam's mini app there, and I get some yield on my USDC. The Pods one is great as well. Like great experience for minting. Farguesser is a great one. Ponder, Bracket. I think there's a lot of great ones. I think the ones that have either it's a game that you want to come back to or some real utility. Another small example is like there's this app called like Small, and it's a dApp for doing things like revoking token balances, kind of like Revoke Cash. And like Horsefax had forked the repo and made it into a mini app. And it's like definitely one my most used mini apps just from like a utility perspective.
Oh damn, that I didn't even think about that actually. Rafi, have you used it before?
I haven't used this one, no.
I haven't either actually. Dylan, you're gonna have to show that as well later.
Okay, I'll show it later. There's a couple different. There's like a thread where there's like 5 different like token revoke tools now, mini apps, which is pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
because I know Phil was talking about revoke.cash being a mini app yesterday as well, but not sure if it is yet.
You know, there's this thing called Intersend, and it's like a crypto app store. It's basically like a way for you to access other Web3 dApps that aren't mini apps yet, and they handle like the wallet connection. So if you go to the Intersend mini app, you can like go and use Revoke Cash.
Oh, that's
like,
incredible.
Docs, like the Web3 Google Docs alternative. There's like a bunch of other tools. Shout out Accountless and the team.
Yeah, and in the comments, Web3 Dev said small is dope. And yeah, keep sending those base names, people. I see you sending those base names. Keep sending them. Absolutely loving it. And Rafi, you're up.
Yeah, for me, I think the mini app I'm using the most is Boy from Michel. It's basically a search application that allows you to search and listen on a new mentions on Farcaster. I think I use it all the time, especially to embed posts that I want to reference. The other I really want to like use more often is Kura, which is like this very nice app to do the membership for the channels. I think like channels are like still really underexplored, and I think there's like much potential in it. So I'm like really looking forward to see what the guys are going to build. And the app that I used to actually use a lot, one like last year, which isn't I think right now the mini app is actually a Bountycaster. Like actually was able to get like 3 contract jobs, one from Dymo, one from Daniel himself.
Yeah.
And although like it's I don't think it's like in a form of mini app right now, but like I think it's like quite like integrated with Farcaster ecosystem.
Yeah, thank you. We actually are in the process of changing it to a mini app. It is a mini app now. It still needs work, but I think tomorrow Daniel and I are going to work on it. Yeah.
Oh, let's go. We Linda, I've actually been thinking about aggregating base bounties on homebase.love because we get so much inbound from like developers and builders in the ecosystem. So just thinking about just creating a little place for people to view base bounties right on the site.
That'd be awesome. Wow.
Okay, great. Let's do it. All right, now let's continue moving on a little bit. The next question for you all is about the developer ecosystem. I'm very curious how you guys see Farcaster's current developer ecosystem versus other not necessarily competitors, but other ecosystems that are out there. What you like about Farcaster's current developer ecosystem, and maybe some improvements that you'd like to see. I know the developer call is a very important piece of that pie. So if you guys would like to talk a little bit about that, how you've been using it, how you've been viewing it. I know Dylan does a lot of recaps, etc. So curious to hear about how you guys insert yourself inside this ecosystem and what's the best way to dive even deeper.
Should I go? I don't know.
Yeah, Linda, why don't you go first? Yeah.
I mean, I love the developer ecosystem on Farcaster. I think one thing that I've just really seen even before I joined the team is that people are really open to like helping each other out and sharing feedback. As Cody mentioned, like we're all trying to just like grow the pie. So it's like if you run into issues or you just like need advice or like, hey, how can I make something more viral? Like people are just like always willing to pitch in and give help. So I love that aspect of it. Yeah, we have the dev calls every 2 weeks. I think those are really nice because like even before I joined the team, like there's a lot of transparency from the Merkle team on like what are the priorities and what's being worked on. And there's a lot of opportunity to chat with the team if you have different opinions and or want to share any feedback. So I really like that culture, and that was something that really drew me to wanting to build on top of Farcaster. In terms of like in terms of like the how it's changed in the past couple months, like I think like mini apps have been a huge change itself. I mean, like Frames V1 was like it was really cool, but it was like the 4 buttons, static image, like pretty slow to load. So I think like ever since like the mini apps like Frame V2 version came out, I think people have just been really excited, and so we're actually seeing all the time now like people just building mini apps just like on their own, and like we're not like trying to like in the beginning, it was like, oh, you knew everybody that was building like a frame V1, and it's like there weren't like a ton just like out in the wild. Whereas like now it's like we're just every day seeing like, oh my gosh, there's all these like cool mini apps being built all the time, and we hadn't even like chatted with this team before. So that's like a new as of like the past few weeks, like that's just been like a new shift that we really noticed, which has been like super cool to see.
Yeah, the network effect that Mini Apps has created is absolutely incredible. I mean, I can't tell you how many builders have been asking me about like, World's App Store versus like Farcaster's Mini Apps, etc. And I mean, 9 out of 10 times, everyone's just like, yeah, the users on Farcaster's social graph is so much higher than others, and it's true. I mean, if you want real users, real feedback right now, you build in Farcaster, you building a mini app is probably the easiest way to have access, especially if you already have an app built. So, and I really liked your point about how the Farcaster ecosystem, the standard, if not the norm, is to build in public. So it's just like very easy to understand what other people are building, how they might be able to help you, how you might be able to help them, etc. So it's just such a cohesive ecosystem in that way. So I completely agree. Cody, how do you feel about the developer ecosystem as someone who's built a lot of different things within the ecosystem?
So I think the thing that I've liked most about it recently is just the speed of development. So like this was maybe like a month ago. I was making an app, and I was trying to figure out like a good way to integrate like a native profile view inside of it. And when you tapped the profile previously, like it would just open a kind of modal of the user. And I'm like, well, this doesn't really work because I want to go and follow that person or whatever. And then like literally like that day, they shipped something that allowed the minimized feed to happen.
It was so sick.
And there were haptics in there. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess they're cooking too. So like I really appreciated the speed, and there's certainly trade-offs with that, but like I've tended to agree with a lot of the development decisions that have been made, and it feels like there is alignment in terms of I thought that was just a really good feature they shipped there, and it made it a lot simpler and easier to develop from there.
Yeah, my favorite part about that feature is I was literally using a mini app, and then like I closed it, regularly, used another one, and then it minimized, and then like an hour later, Varun was like, "Yeah, like we just launched this thing," and I'm like, "Yo, I knew it! Like that was sick."
Yeah. There's a lot of low hanging fruit, but like that feature was not trivial to design, and it was like, okay, I like where we're going.
Yeah, 100% agree. Dylan.
Yeah, no, I love the developer ecosystem. I mean, I remember joining my first ever developer call. It was like 3 summers ago at this point, and just like being in awe of like
how many people were on that call, that first call, Dylan?
I don't know if it was the first, but there were maybe like 15 people or something. I don't know. But that like the point is the transparency stood out to me, and it's something that they've continued. And a big theme on Farcaster, a big theme in crypto is like decentralization versus centralization, and like this whole topic of sufficient decentralization. And maybe certain specifics are more touchy than others, but I think overall the team has been very open with acknowledging, hey, certain things happen in the app first, because if we made that change on the protocol, it's going to slow things down. Like if there was a time where people kept saying channels need to be on the protocol, even though there's FIP2, but if channels had actually moved to the protocol, I think that would have like hurt the primitive even more. And so I'm just saying all this to say these calls are really great for people to learn about what's going on in the protocol. It builds up a great rapport and sense of trust that these developers can come get their questions answered. The team is even now making sure that the agenda for the dev calls are like structured in order of their priorities. And so it's just a great use of everyone's time. And I think it's been really helpful so that if you're just starting building on Farcaster, or if you're taking a really big bet, that you have, access to like make your voice heard in some way, and just really, really helpful. And a kind of add on I'll say is, for this whole wave of mini apps happening right now, I think a reason why we're able to get to this breakout point, hopefully soon, where, we don't like know all the mini app builders and everyone's making a mini app, is because the spec is built out so well and the developer ecosystem is so helpful. I mean, Linda puts up docs with apps ideas to build. There are group chats for testers. There are ways to get in touch with the team if something isn't working. And so this all just reinforces that like this is a great place to build and a place where you will get help and get on your way to like having more users, more distribution. So
three quick questions actually. So do you feel like you're listened to? Do you feel like other developers in the ecosystem are listened to? And do you feel like you guys need to be listened to?
I mean, yes to all three. I don't need to go into the specifics. It's not like, oh, you need to cater to the developers. I think, again, like Merkle does a pretty good job of balancing that all out and understanding like which criticism is more valid than others. And even like, for example, the change of the name from Warpcast to Farcaster or whatever, I don't think anything is finalized, but I could tell that Dan and Varun made a very concerted effort to get the right folks' input, but also be cognizant of everyone's viewpoints.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, you got to drive the narrative, but still got to listen.
Everyone needs each other for this kind of stuff. It's not like one person's opinion matters more than another's per se.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like I understand that like the team is kind of calling the shots on the final decision. Like it's not going to be like going on Ponder and that decides the name.
So, Rafi, do you think the final decision is going to be Warpcast or Farcaster?
I don't want to, bias anyone with my opinion. That's for sure.
Too influential to decide.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want to play this kind of game.
Yeah,
like
I can't sway public opinion too hard. Yeah.
Regarding the development ecosystem, to give some context, I've been like in a decentralized social network like a space for last 10 years. I was using ActivityPub and I was developing on it like almost a decade ago. I was like part of the diaspora, which was like one of the early clients for the ActivityPub. And I was seeing like many different things trying to implement social networks and going through like similar problems over and over again. And to Dylan's point regarding the openness of Farcaster ecosystem for developers, I think it's just like incredible because to this day I remember like 2 years, like 1.5 years ago, it was autumn. I connected to I joined a channel, like a developer channel with Force Facts. I think Dylan, you were also there. People from the HATS protocol were there, and we were just like kind of discussing quite low level stuff related to the protocol and how all of the signing works. And I wasn't like, I didn't know anyone on Farcaster or like even the social networks. I didn't have that many followings, but people like were so welcoming and so engaging that it was like really like it blew me away, because nowhere in Blue Sky nor in Mastodon or like the whole broad ActivityPub ecosystem I saw such an openness to like new people and openness about the development. So I think this is a very unique trait of for the Farcaster ecosystem.
Yeah, actually, Rafi, because you don't use Twitter that much. You don't have like a huge following, but your Farcaster presence is massive. So like, is this like the first social media you've really like dove into and like grabbed by the balls, for the lack of a better word?
I think so. Like there was like another kind of like 2 accounts I had on the development side in Mastodon that were like quite popular. But with Farcaster, I really started to like connect with the people there, especially when it comes to talking with them, messaging them, and then they messaging me, and for example having calls. I was able to like make a very great relationship with July and many other people by just like creating a nice connection on Farcaster, then like kind of talking in private, like meeting in person. And like nowhere on the internet, like really I was able to create so many valuable connections as on Farcaster. So I think there's something there.
Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I mean, Farcaster replicated those early Twitter days so well. I mean, it's been such an incredible experience for that reason. And that's why I love the following feed so much. It just replicates those old school vibes. And as valuable as the algo is, I'm a sucker for the following feed. And Dylan, by the way, Leia said Intersend is impressive. And also Leia said Easton purchases with crypto is very cool. A card will be on to showcase very soon. And Ash said Farcast is a good compromise. So instead of Warpcast or Farcaster, what if we just go with Farcast? Cody, I see you shaking your head.
I think maybe we should punt the conversation, but It'll figure itself out.
No, yeah, I'm just joking. Okay, so the next thing that I'd like to sort of get into is around leadership. And like this is a very good conversation after talking about the developer ecosystem, because I mean some of the very positive things that you guys have talked about the developer ecosystem are, you know, very clear from top down from the leadership, and they want to show that they do actually listen to you guys, and that they are creating something for you, specifically for us, for all of us. And I think that's exactly what they've done. But other than that, I think what's very special is the ecosystem allows for other people to sort of like lead within the community, right? Like Ted's a very good example of somebody who, you know, did not work at Merkle for a very long time, but has garnered like a very big influence on the platform, and continues to lead even from Merkle now, of course, but you know, just from the community standpoint before. So I want to talk a little bit about how you guys like feel like you can lead from your position within the community at Farcaster without having to necessarily like work at Merkle, etc. I mean, Dylan, I feel like that's even true for people who build on Base, right? You don't necessarily have to work at Base to, you know, to be a leader within the Base community, etc. So I would love to talk a little bit about like that discrepancy and how you guys are sort of navigating that. And Linda, if you want to even start with talking about how you lead from the community like after being from Merkle, because you're a very good example of someone who was just a Farcaster builder and now a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I basically just approach it from like building in public, and I think it's a great way to get others following along your journey. I even think of like Sam on working on Humankind with candles. It's not like a you know, a mini app, but there's a lot of people following her in her small business journey. So it's just great to like post in founders channel or dev channels on like, here are things that you are building, or here are things that you're thinking through, and just be really transparent about it. I think that's a great way to like connect with others. And then there's always there's just a really good like founder group there, because like I would just DM people and be like, hey, like we're, you know, looking to add this feature on Bountycaster. Would you be open to testing it out? And people are just really supportive, and they feel like very invested in seeing your success if they're like giving feedback and you're adding features based off their input. So building in public is great for that.
All right, so Kartik is with us now, so I'd like for Kartik to introduce himself, and then we will continue throughout the show. Kartik, I will also ask you to showcase eSIM if it's around. You don't necessarily have to do it right now. If you want to give an introduction and showcase at the end of the call, also possible. So whatever makes the most sense for you.
Oh, that sounds great. Hey everybody, I'm Kartik. I'm one of the co-founders of Deep Global, and I'm also an investor, and I'm part of a fund called A Capital, and we do early stage investing in super ambitious crypto projects, so consumer and just infrastructure. That's pretty much the intro. I built a cool mini app last week. It was called eSIM, and kind of the goal for me to build that mini app was basically see if I can help build a use case that is more than just a kind of a sandbox and black box thing of like just being within a crypto system. So it's like, how do we connect something outside of the crypto world to the real world? And the functionality was being able to actually purchase a travel data eSIM and pay with it through crypto, and kind of being able to actually cut down a bunch of steps that if somebody's traveling and wants a digital travel SIM to go through the same process again, which is like, you don't need to download any app, you don't need to have a bunch of KYC considerations. You don't need to wait hours to days for any of these things. And being able to actually do this instantly and on average about 2 to 3 minutes in, and having an eSIM installed on those modern phones. And that was kind of the goal.
So how did you land on an eSIM specifically? And was it for an ETH Global Hackathon? No, I'm just kidding.
Interestingly, yes. So this was something that was a very common day-to-day thing that came up for the global team, and just obviously given how many people travel to a lot of the events across the globe. And it's just obviously every country has a different telecom situation in terms of like what their provider can give a plan for, and what options they have, and the prices too. So we kind of just started this exercise last year where we just said, hey, I wonder what it takes to be an eSIM issuer. Spent a lot of time trying to like vet, try and just understand this whole world, and just see like who is a provider that we can use as a data broker, basically. So we kind of got some of these things set up, and we have like 3 brokers that we use that sort of all kind of work with other telecom providers on their behalf, and let you sort of issue eSIM for your users, and kind of manage the middleman layer here. So we kind of got that set up. We started testing this thing last February to see if it works, and
Wow.
we got over the last, February to December, we kind of got over 1,000 people kind of buying the eSIM for just traveling to the global event. So okay, this is cool. We kind of got a bunch of bucks out through that process because we learned something new every time. And the part that I did for this mini app was basically took that code out to separate that from our existing backend to be a brand new website with its own infrastructure. So it's more about like, let's make that a self-serve service. So now you can have a full UI to manage and buy an eSIM and anything. The code is like no longer part of our main code, which was one thing I really wanted to do because it was just getting messier and messier with one-off things. And then the 2 pieces were, how do we kind of make it so that anybody can do this with crypto within a frame and a mini app, and also on the browser. So like the site was meant to actually work anywhere. You don't actually have to use it as a mini app because we wanted compatibility. And the second piece was like, how do we kind of set it up so that we can make it more interesting for future growth? So the 2 pieces there were ETH Global has been spending a lot of time building this protocol called PAX, where we kind of just use the context of what somebody's done on chain and offer them more interesting kind of benefits, whether it's kind of on chain or off chain. So a big part of this was like, I can actually see if somebody's a past ETH Global attendee, because if their address has one of the PAC NFTs that we have, we can offer different pricing. So this kind of is set up to be the case where if you are a frequent traveler or a frequent hacker or accomplished with a project, you just get a bigger discount on your eSIM purchase in the future. And the second one was that was like, because we're going to make this a full self-serve standalone service, the eSIM page, because we have multiple brokers for this thing, we actually started doing the routing algorithms properly. So I actually can think about getting a cheaper price and the best price.
Wow.
So it was like, hey, now we have all the quotes, and then we actually do basic checks for, is this the best path for, can I get a better rate directly from a different broker if I do these 2 hops and whatnot. So I was like, this is just like a fun coding thing that I was curious about. Come up with like a pick the best price algorithm, which interestingly is not as complicated as doing this thing for like token routing or something, because you have 3 providers and a pretty fixed list of options, so you don't have to go too complicated in the problem solving. But that was kind of the goal, and this is kind of how that page came to be.
Was creating the relationships with the brokers harder than actually building the product itself?
No, because a lot of them basically let you try things out. The part that's hard about that process is the implementation. There's like, here's like documentation on how everything works, and I don't mean this negatively, but the documentations are never from the deck that you want it to be. So it was just like, it took us a few weeks usually to kind of just get the MVP there, and then the rest of it is basically based off of like, you just get treated better the more you bring business to them. So the more volume you have, the better flexibility and the more unlocks you get on anywhere from pricing to regional availability. So and then also everybody has like something slightly different. So if you want to really go into specifics, as like a really core example, we support close to 200 countries. But if you go on the website, it'll say you can only do it for 138 countries right now. And like the difference there, and like the reason why it says that is because part of one of the algorithms that's picking the best price is set to filter for specifically the ability for you to hot reload a SIM, which is something I just personally care about. So I just made that the default. And that means that if somebody's buys an eSIM and it's about to run out the data, I can instantly just reload that same card without having them reinstall or get a new one. And that means I get to like pick through the route for, can this particular eSIM issuance be like topped up and swapped, and I was like, oh, once you kind of run the whole availability of like which countries support other roaming and all that stuff, I can technically have one person just never uninstall that SIM and just have it support any future country automatically. So I was like, oh, I think that's going to be important just because it's cool. So like those type of things when you run into. So the more you try out a bunch of these brokers, the more you learn about the small feature differences each of them have. And this was kind of, I was like, oh, I think this is like a fun thing. And basically, yeah, I'm just giving you a preview of like what feature available support feature would be. And two of the things are you can hot reload a SIM and just add more data, but then also you can add any other country support on that same thing that you've installed. And I think those are just cool things to do.
I mean, I can't even tell you how amazing the use case is. It's something that's so obvious, especially in crypto. We're all traveling for, whether it's for ETH Global or something else. You know, it's such something that, you know, everyone needs in the space at one point or another. So it just like it was so obvious, and you did so much hard work to make it happen on the back end, and just so appreciative that you turned into a mini app as well. So my next question for you, and then we'll open it back up for everyone else. But my next question for you, Kartik, is how easy was it for you to build a mini app?
I would say it was easy in terms of the coding work that I had to do, but there were some obviously not so obvious things just in terms of like context gathering. So
be specific. This is what we're here for.
So Linda specifically. So the part that I heavily relied on for this utility was because my primary goal was to make sure that it's compatible and the same experience exists for web and non mini app use case, or like a mini app kind of context. There should be like no difference in the flow or just any interruptions in what the screens look like for the person. So the only part that I had to spend time on understanding and just fulfilling was, can I understand if this is being used inside a frame or not? And that just meant like, can I tell you that this is being open as a mini app or it's on just a website? And as long as that check was met, that's kind of the only key thing I needed. Everything else was like making sure that, okay, and if you were inside a mini app and it is Farcaster, then just support the Farcaster wallet, which wasn't like that much work, because that part actually was quite easy to just extend the VM and the wallet providers. So that kind of was simplified. The parts that I had to kind of just spend time on understanding were just like, how does the SDK get ready on load, and the work needed to sort of just really specifically know that the context is fully loaded. And I think the part that sort of was not super obvious was like the documentation on checking for what's ready on the SDK was just a function, but not like how do you best kind of insert it in your most applications. So the sample that was being given didn't like guarantee run, so I just had to like just check on GitHub what other frame open source projects there were, and just see how they were kind of calling in the context. And I was like, oh great, I just had to like do something slightly different, initialize the function a bit differently, and that's where we just made that function return as expected 100% of the time. So like that's kind of the biggest piece I had to do, and then everything else sort of just behaved like a normal wallet. So as long as people were like in a position to use the wallet internally from Farcast or like Warpcast, and it didn't require like any other step, then the rest of it behaved just like any other dApp.
Yeah, makes sense. And how much time do you think it took you to kind of go through those steps?
Probably 2-3 hours, just because like you had to kind of just read a lot and just see what the states are, and just try to just log a bunch of outcomes. And one of the obvious things here is that like because so much of it was relying on the SDK context object to understand like what information you have access to for a user. The hard part was like the problem I was trying to debug is the context loaded. So I couldn't lock things properly because I guess in implementation, these are all JavaScript proxy functions instead of like actual kind of objects that are that are available to be more instantly kind of loggable. So you kind of just had a promise-based proxy that was just unresolved, and you just didn't know if that was like not loading or it was loading that'll be loaded in like runtime. Just a bunch of just like basic debugging things. I just had to like just play with a lot of iterations to see what the right way of loading that was.
Maybe we should do just like a mini app building debugging session. That would be kind of fun. We're trying to get the we're trying to get the build times down to like 15, 20 minutes from scratch. So we're doing our best to like bring people on live and just have them just full send building a mini app.
Yeah. Takeaway would be like just having a starter kit there that people can just start off with, and it kind of does all the loading properly. So all you have to do is put in your UI and business logic. But I don't think it's hard. It's like not a real complaint. I think it's just like, oh, maybe if I just had to just blindly copy paste and it just worked every time, that would have simplified everything. But I wouldn't say I was stuck on anything. It was more of a, oh, I should not have to spend that much time just trying to see if this function should return true or not, to see if somebody's in a frame or not.
I think in theory in the future, Dylan might have some solutions regarding Farcaster Kit, but and I'm not sure on the timeline. What I would like to start getting into is showcasing some of the mini apps or some of the things that you guys are building. So Rafi, I'm not sure if you're ready to start sharing your screen, but would love for you to begin sharing, and if everyone would like to prepare either a mini app that you've been working on or something within the ecosystem that you're very excited about and that you'd like to share. Subscribe said, oh, and one other thing, people, send your ENS, send your ETH addresses, send those base names. I keep seeing you send your base names. I'm loving it. Keep sending them. And Maintainer said, good morning. Subscribe said, Kartik is the GOAT. And then also said, I'd love to speak to someone from the panel about building out a mini app for our Phygital brand. So Subscribe, feel free to DM me on Twitter, and I'm happy to connect you with whoever it makes sense. Feel free to DM anyone here as well. I'm sure some people will respond if they're available. But feel free to message me if need be.
Feel free to message me too at Linda on Warpcast.
Let me send your Twitter and Warpcast. All right, so it's at Linda on Farcaster.
Yeah, and then LJXIE on Twitter.
LJXIE. Bam. Go follow Linda. Go message her. She will support you. She's the best. Okay. Who wants to present? Who's ready? Who's got it in front of them? Who wants to share?
I do have it up in front of me.
All right, Dylan. Let's go. Mr. Farcon himself.
Okay, I'll show a couple. I don't know how they're all gonna work, but I'll give it like 90 seconds or something.
Here we go.
Okay, so this is one I was focused on at the end of the year, early this year, called Tap. At first, it was kind of like a Grok style tool for Farcaster. It has a couple different things in it. It's kind of like a little testing ground for me. So one is a vertical style video feed, Instagram, TikTok style feed of videos that are posted to Farcaster. You can click in and it takes you to user's profile. You can tip them some ETH with your Warplet if you want. Another one is the chat, as I was talking about. So like, what have I been casting about lately? Let's see, go through. It calls the Nanar API. It's using OpenAI function calling. So I can go here and it will actually show me the cast that it referred to. I can go back. It can query a bunch of other stuff. It has data from certain apps like Bounty Caster, Clanker, Icebreaker, etc. This is all kind of just up there, and I wish I got to more of it. And then another really small one is maybe this one won't work. Okay, it's not working, but I was trying to do something.
Yeah, I was excited to see it.
Topics. That's all good. I have my personal website up as a mini app, so you can read all the different blog posts I've written. Farcon NYC, we have a mini app where you can view all of the different scheduling information. You can go to the profile and view your ticket when it ever loads. And there's also a app directory. Let's hope at least the profile loads. The backend's been getting a little bit throttled for this, but it's supposed to be just very helpful to see. Okay, this isn't loading. That's all good. I'm just going to keep going. And then the last of two actually I'll do is Far Hack. So we're gonna post details soon for the Far Hack next week. But we launched the hacking guide this week, so it just goes over some details for how do you participate in a Far Hack, what are the different Farcaster ecosystem tools that you can use, etc. And then more soon on the actual bounty pages. And very final one that I will highlight for sake of time is a mini app version of the Purple DAO website. So I'll go settle this auction real quick. But if you're a member of Purple DAO, you can go and bid on Purple auctions. You can view the different proposals, view what's going on in the DAO, etc. And yeah, that's my little presentation.
Yeah, that was a very fast presentation for like 5 different mini apps. Really appreciate all of the things that you've been building. Dylan's also built the mini app for my website as well, kismetcasa.xyz. So really appreciate all the work that Dylan's been doing. Absolutely incredible mini app builder. And somebody actually did just post some resources how to build mini apps in the chat. So if you're interested to build some mini apps, go check it out. Altagers also said working on Farcaster mini app where you have to feed the duck. Very interested. If you want to come on to Homebase live stream sometime to share what you're working on, Altagers, DM me, let me know. All right, who's up next? Rafi, Cody, Linda, Kartik. I know you all have something to share.
I'm happy to do a demo of the eSIM app, but I think if someone can go before me, it'll just give me enough time to get this ready from like my actual phone. I just want to test the phone screen sharing. I was going to do it on the web because then I can actually go through and install and do the whole process.
Rafi and Cody have had plenty of time to prepare themselves, so one of them could be ready.
Yeah. By the way, I recommend anyone using that iPhone mirroring app on your phone or on the Mac. That's how I just like did the demo, so I can like control it with my.
Not in Europe. Not in Europe.
Oh,
Wait,
man.
yeah.
I mean, I can go to buy people time. So okay.
All right, perfect. It's like
so
Linda's
share
up.
screen.
Oh, Cody's actually. Cody, you
Oh,
ready?
you're good.
Yeah, I could jump in.
All right, bye.
Cool.
Ooh, I like this one a lot. Cody. I can't even tell you how enjoyable like this is.
Nice. So this was just a fun idea inspired by Warp Slot, where I'm like, I have a 30-day plus streak on Warp Slot. I use it every day, but I'm like, what other games are very popular, like in the casino world on the internet? And one of them is this game called Mines, which is just a simple game where you select a tile, and if you hit a mine, it breaks. But every time you select a tile, you get more rewards. So I'm getting a lot this time.
Hey, all right, come on, collect the gems. Collect the gems.
Right, collect. So I got so like it basically tests your own greed, and you can, and then the tokens automatically send. So very simple game, but we tried it. We dropped it earlier this week, and kind of amazed by the activity that just gets naturally picked up on Farcaster. A lot of international users. We wanted something also that played into the coin meta. So instead of like Warp Slot gives out sort of more traditional meme coins or other projects. In this case, we're highlighting interesting creators that we see on Zora right now. And we can swap them in for whatever. But the vision is like to just increasingly make interesting prizes to win and to help people discover compelling new projects on the site. But just a very casual, easy game to play. I need to. There we go. Okay, yeah, dead. So that's how it works. So yeah, that's gems. And then side quest was the other one, which was a way to fund projects. We had our first project funded, Quotient, which is another super great project. Thank you to Linda and others who backed it. But very straightforward there. So yeah, those are the two I've been working on recently. I think Dylan had 8.
And those are just the 8 he showed. Remember?
Those are just the 8 he showed. Yeah, but it is legit. It is legit addicting. Like I'm like, oh, like getting ideas from the app all the time. They're very easy to ship, and just you immediately see whether there's traction or not. So that's why I like it.
How many Farcaster users have interacted with Minesweeper out of curiosity?
So gems. I mean, I could pull up the stats.
Do it.
No, I'm not gonna show them. They're not fully complete yet. There's desktop things that are working on. So we had 1,500 plays the first day, and I think once we figure out how to do notifications correctly, that's when I think we'll get the nice return there.
You have somebody cheering you on in the comments. They say Jordan Olmsted said, "Go Cody."
Love it. Thank you.
Yeah, both all very, very cool apps. I really want to use SideQuest more. Really glad that you built it, and of course, yeah, mine's is super fun.
Thank you.
Rafi, are you ready? Oh, Kartik is up and ready to go. So Kartik, you are going to be next.
Awesome. So this is me sharing my mobile, and I'll kind of go to the eSIM app, which has gone up 4 ranks since launch. And kind of the goal is to just make it very simple, show all the countries that we support, 138 countries on the full search, and then the top section just aggregates the recent purchases and the most popular ones. So people are very much traveling a lot to US, Canada, and France, and Japan being number 4 there. So just this will be a live kind of a confirmed sale stats. But basically, it's just literally showing all the countries that we support instant SIMs for, and you can also see like the cheapest price here. So as I kind of just scroll, you can just kind of get an idea for some of the countries. And the goal for me was to make this as easy and as minimal as possible. So what I'm going to do is just go to the US and really buy a real SIM. And once you click the country name, you are just presented with all the best options. And here you have a lot of choices for the data plans, how long the data is being purchased for, and then the price. So here, like I can
say, pricing is like shockingly good.
Well, thank you. Yeah. So it took us a lot of time just to understand what's the best price, and then also just kind of for funds for some popular countries, I just also price compared to like what other providers are doing, and then just see if I could do something cheaper. And the answer was always yes.
Of course,
with the exception of like one case, which is for some European countries, I can't get away with it, but largely it actually is cheaper than most other providers for if you just Google eSIM. But here, like, there's a couple options. What I'll do is I'll just go through a simple checkout flow and try to get a 100 megabyte data plan for $1.50. So I pick the plan, and the only other step here is go to checkout, and all the checkout does is asks you for your email, and that's all I need. And basically, that's the least amount of steps I can think of. And once you click on continue to payments, it understands where you are and has the built-in context. So looks like I have $1.50 to pay from my Farcaster account wallet here, and that's all I have to do. So once I click on authorize, it'll tell me to review this thing, and for $1.50, I will initiate that payment. Should be done in less than 3 seconds, and as soon as that checkout happens, the UI understands that the payment was complete, and it associates that with my eSIM order. And that's really all you had to do. So at this point, I have purchased an eSIM for the US for 100 megabytes that lasts 7 days. And I'm going to go to my account page where I can see all of my recent purchases. And looks like a bunch of people are going to be on this live stream. So whoever scans this first, it's yours. I'm not going to use it. But basically, here I can say I just bought a 100 megabyte eSIM for $1.5, and it's from Verizon and T-Mobile, depending on whoever it connects to first. And it supports 3G, 4G, and 5G. And all I have to do now is just press on the activate button. So I just did that, and it should be calling in our servers to issue the actual SIM, and boom, there you go. This is all I have to do. If you're on a different device, you can just scan this. But here I know that I'm in iOS, so all I can do is I can just literally click this button, and it just lets me add the eSIM. So if I click allow, it will just install it directly, which is a really cool thing. So actually, maybe let's try that. And
could you talk a little bit about how you were saying you could top up the same eSIM?
Yes. So the SIM options that you're being provided at the point of purchase are built in with the capacity to be topped up. So that's not a feature that's available yet for self-serve, but it is supported. So what I can do effectively is that I'll forego the installation, go back to the app. But here, this is another sim from a few days ago where I've used about 14 megabytes of this 100. But what it means is that if I get closer to my limits here, I can see it just an option to add more, and then I can just re-up more bandwidth to the same eSIM, so I don't have to do a new installation. I'll just see a button saying, "Hey, would you like to add another gig to this, or another 100 megabytes, or 10, whatever?" So this card will just let you add more data, which is
incredible.
So that's literally it. So I did issue this thing, but I did not install it. So if somebody wants to scan it, great. Enjoy a free 100 megabytes on this live demo. But
Come on, somebody scan it. If you don't scan it now, someone will scan it on the recording later. So
it's also first come first. So the first one to scan it and activate is the one that wins. So
look at that. Carter just gave you some free eSIM. You better say thank you.
And that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. And we went from browsing to purchasing to issuing in 60 seconds.
Thank you so much. Oh, that's so cool. I know Dylan and Linda have to drop right at 3. So if there's any last things that you would like to share or go over, feel free to go. And then we'll move on to Rafi's demo.
I'm going to just give a really quick selfish plug that Monday afternoon, we're going to do a live stream for mini apps working well in Coinbase Wallet. I have some information up and I can share it in the thread as well. A lot of it overlaps with things that I'd like to think work well overall, but there's just a couple things. And so just wanted to call that out and excited for that. Excited to see folks at FarCon as well, and appreciate you, Luciano, for putting this together as always.
No problem, no problem. So it looks like most people have to drop at 3, so everyone can drop. Then Rafa, if you want to stay to do your little demo before Skoho does his build session, feel free. But feel free to give last words, everyone. And thank you all for joining us. Seriously, it was really incredible. You're all incredible builders. Really love being in the same ecosystem as you all. It's super invigorating, to say the least.
Thank you for hosting this, Luciano. Final thoughts is that I really do think that like mini apps inside the feed is like a genuinely new way to have a social feed. And it feels way more cohesive to pitch this to random people now. Like I used to say, like Farcaster is like, oh, it's a decentralized Twitter, and watch just like this, like the life leave their body as I was pitching it. But if I say, hey, no, it's a mini app feed, you can play games, you can win money, then they're like, okay.
You're like, yeah, what else can I do?
Yeah, I feel the Farcaster vision coming together more, and so I just think it's a cool time to build.
That's good to hear. Yeah, that's how I pitch it too now. But yeah, my plug, I guess, is like, because I'm actually hopping off to do the live stream I do with Horse Facts, which is this week in mini apps. And so we just go over every week, like maybe 5 to 6 mini apps, and kind of like what we did here. And so we'll just walk through and chat about different updates in the ecosystem. So we do that every week as just a way of highlighting builders in the ecosystem.
Is it a Twitter space or a stream like this, or what is it?
Yeah, it's a stream like this. We just do it from Horsefacts account.
Okay,
we'll do it from Farcaster account in the future.
Shoot the link in the comments. So if anyone in here in this live stream wants to go over, should shoot it in the comments, or shoot me the link and I'll shoot it to everyone.
Sounds good.
Yes. And shout out to Horsefacts who helped me clear a bug last night. That was very important to clear.
Shout out to Horsefacts who followed me yesterday.
All right.
Yeah, let's go. All right. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you.
See you all.
See you all again, hopefully sometime again. And now we have Skoho. Thank you so much, Skoho, for joining us once again. Another build session back again.
Hey, good to be back.
Hey. So I know there are a few things that you were thinking about doing. So there's a few things I'm thinking about as well, but I will let you take the reins and just let me know what you need from me.
Sure. Sounds good. So today, my plan is to walk people over creating something with the Zora Coins SDK. And basically, the idea is to create a Farcaster bot that lets people tag the bot and sort of like create coins, like Clanker, but like a little more simple. So it uses Zora SDK under the hood to get some information from the cast, and it can create the content coin for you. So that's what we have planned. I have sort of like a head start because I started working on it like an hour ago, but we'll see how it goes.
That's cheating. Homebase Live is like a hackathon. You have to start it here.
But
I'm kidding.
yeah,
That would-
it's not working.
That'd be
But
hilarious.
you got to make it work live in the build session.
Yeah. You have to go from starting the project to deploying it online.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a new
Um,
hackathon standard. Homebase Hacks.
Love
Actually,
it.
that's a really good name. Homebase Hacks.
Homebase hacks.
Fuck,
When is it going
How
to
did I
be?
not think about that yet? See,
there
this is
could
why I
be-
take time to think about branding.
Right. We talked about base match, and then we got home base hacks. What's next?
Speaking of base match, I need to hit that guy up and talk about.
Oh
what he
yeah,
wants
I'm
to use
down
that
to work
domain
on it
for.
together. Yep.
Perfect.
All right. Should start sharing screen now.
And once you start sharing your screen, I'll make it full screen so everyone can
All right.
can see. Alrighty.
Cool. So here I've got a project set up, and basically what it does is use a few technologies under the hood. It uses Nanar for listening to Farcaster accounts, tagging the bot. Basically, you need to get a Farcaster account set up, and that's what you're going to be using as the bot. And this private key is not, it's not real, so it's fine. But yeah, you need your private key, you need your RPC URL, and then you need your bot name. For RPC, you can use Alchemy for better performance. Basically, you need Nanar and Zora SDK for getting started with this project. So I've got the terminal running, and let's see if it responds to cast. So I'm gonna cast from my Warpcast account and see if it can create a coin for us. So just share this cast with the image. It's going to use this image for creating the coin on Zora. Let's see if it found it.
We've officially broken the 1,000 viewers mark.
Wow.
you are very popular right now.
I wonder if everyone is real, or like there's some bot accounts in there. But
Well, we started at about Well, we literally went from 2 viewers to 1,000 over the past hour, so it's been people funneling in more or less. I'm sure there's some bots here and there, but
Yeah,
more or less,
pretty cool.
the chat's been active enough that there's definitely some real people.
So it looks like it replied to the cast, but it can't find an image associated with it. I'm gonna see.
Rafi said we are all real, I think. Cedric goes, Rafi is a bot. But it's true. It did grow slowly or organically. All
That's
Tagers
great.
is a duck, not a bot. So it seems like I mean, most people are acting like humans even if they are a bot, so that's all we can really ask for, right?
Yeah. So it's responding to the cast, but it's not finding the image in the post. So that's what we need for the URI to create the content coin. So let's see why it's responding this way. Gonna wipe code my way through this and see if we have any issues.
Trying to think what we should call this. Homebase.
I called it joiner. The project's called joiner.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
So find an image URL.
I mean, come on. Is Coiner taken? That's gotta be available.
Joiner?
Coiner?
I think it might be.
Yo, I'm not gonna say this out loud, but check the comments.
Okay. Love it.
Yep.
I think my entire screen's visible.
Yes. Zoiner. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's fucking legit.
Yeah. In the background, I just did a quick check to see if that example private key was indeed a real private key that I might care about, and it turned out to be no. So we're all good here.
All right, good. Because I was gonna say,
yeah,
you can generate a new one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's good.
So if that ever happens, just let me know as soon as possible. I'll take your screen off and.
Yeah, we're all good.
All right.
Basically, you need the private key for posting to Zora. So you need like few base ETH on it. That's what we need it for. So yeah, I have it safely hidden from the public view in my actual ETH file.
Thank God, because there's actually enough people on this that it's not. Yeah, you definitely don't want to.
Yeah. So we're at not being able to find an image from the cast. Let's see.
Because the cast doesn't have an image, or just not being able, it's just not pulling the image.
Yeah, it's not being able to pull the image. The cast does have an image, but maybe something related to the API response that's not being able to pull it. So let's try casting the same thing again, and it'll spit out some logs. Okay, receive the cast data structure. So returned false. Okay, let's start. Let's add some logging to the exact response cast data. This will let us see the information that's returned from the cast. We can actually take a look at the cast info directly on Nanar, I'm thinking. Let's try to do that.
Maintainer, any docs specifically you'd like to see? But yes, actually, a really good call. I do need to open the DMs on the Homebase account, but my DMs personally are open, so feel free to DM at Luciano D'Angelo on Twitter. Let me figure out a way to open the DMs on Homebase. Really good call. I'm also going to shoot the link in if ever anyone wants to go over to Linda and Horsefax's live call right now.
Oh yeah, shout out to Weekend Mini Apps. QRcoin.fun got featured in episode 2, so shout out.
Whoops. All right, Linda is on another call with Horsefax right now. If anyone wants to go check out that live stream, I just posted the link. It is more about Farcaster mini apps. So if you're really excited about Farcaster mini apps and can't get enough, feel free to go check them out. If not, we're going to be vibe coding here. We're going to be doing a little build session with Scoho. I guess we'll call it Homebase hacks from now on. And we'll watch Scoho hack around on creating Coiner or Zoiner, Zora's AI agent coin launcher. So hopefully we'll be able to app Zoiner later today or tomorrow if we're really productive, and you'll be able to instantly create a coin.
Speaking on the AI part is not yet baked into it, so we're just using some intelligent parsing from the cast itself. But if we want to have something like Clanker, which gives us intelligent responses, we'll need to use something like Coinbase Agent Kit, which is something I'd like to be able to work on further. But yeah, I'm going to open source this, and if anyone wants to build upon that functionality, feel free. So looks like the image embeds are not updated in real time on the Nanar API for the cast. So we're just going to be using a default image URL for now and see if it succeeds in creating the content coin.
I'm getting a call. Give me 1 second. I'll be here though.
All right.
Is there anything you found missing in the Zora doc so far?
Yeah. So we
So yeah.
we um, we set the image to we set the metadata URI to an URL is not supposed to be done. Basically, it needs like a metadata URL. just letting cursor do its thing here.
Love it. Love it. Important. Has anyone in the audience been waiting for a clanker for Zora? A Zora clanker? I'm surprised Clanker hasn't even like beat you to it, to be honest.
Oh, Clanker. I mean, Clanker. I'd say like Clanker has its own like thing. So I'd be shocked if Clanker and Zora collabed. But yeah,
I mean, yeah,
but
I
I
get
think
your
they're just
point. Like
different.
they would,
Yeah, they're just different things that coexist in the same ecosystem.
right. Like, why would Clanker make token, or why would Clanker let people coin Zora tokens specifically?
Right. That would just
Incentives don't
yeah.
really align, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, wouldn't you rather people at Clanker to coin on Zora than use Zora themselves? Because then you can take at least mind share at the very least, you know. So
Yeah,
that was
but
that was
that
kind
would
of my
mean
thing,
like less people start coining on Clanker and
right?
more on Zora.
Right.
Yeah, that's just I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
because there is the competition's too real.
yeah, competition is there, but I feel like Zora is more like content slash artist centric, and Clanker has like a higher like floor. So make what you will of it. I'm not sure like how people perceive that, but uh, like different projects use these two differently, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to upload like an image to IPFS. Silent here, login, upload files. Okay, here we go.
So I'm checking out Small for the first time, the Small Frame by Horsefacts, and holy shit, this is cool.
Oh, what does it do?
It's not only like you can send, you can do like like splits for if you're like paying multiple people, but it also has the revoke. It lets you revoke. It's like the coolest UI I've ever seen for revoking permissions. So it like tells you the exact amount of value that's at risk in your wallet and what you need to revoke to no longer have that value at risk. So it's
Yeah,
like if you have like
that's
150,
bad.
yeah, bro, it's elite. It's really cool. Like, so if you have like 150 USDC and you have like unlimited approvals for USDC, it just says you have like $150 at risk.
Oh, okay. And I can you like revoke those approvals as well?
Yeah, right there. Yeah, right then and there.
Nice. That's really cool.
I guess it's literally a wallet, more or less.
Yeah, like an intelligent wallet that lets you take control of your finances on chain.
Bro, like that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
So we just added a hard-coded IPFS hash, and hopefully it'll work this time. Oh, more errors. Metadata is not a valid JSON or plain text response type. Okay, still getting metadata errors. Take a look at the metadata docs. Okay, so the IPFS URI needs to point to an actual JSON file, not just an image. So I guess we'll upload this JSON object to IPFS and hard code it and see if it works that way. So for now, we'll just create a sample JSON and upload it to IPFS, get the IPFS hash. Okay, we're gonna tag the bot and
Nice.
see if the cast worked this time. Hopefully it did, but we'll see.
I think so. I'm feeling good.
No.
Damn it.
Metadata is not a valid plain text response type. That's
Time to
funny.
debug. All
Yep.
right, so I think you have to start being a little more angry with it. If you be too nice to it, then it won't give you
Oh
as
no,
much.
AI is gonna remember, like probably a few decades from now when it's gonna take over, it's gonna remember the vibe coders who remembered to say please.
Well, here's the thing, right? I've when this stuff was first coming out, when Bolt.new was new, and some of the OG like vibe coding platforms were just coming up. One of my really
Oh,
good friends who I
At the
trust,
beginning, it was really bad. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's still bad, but it's getting there.
One of my really good friends, he swore by being mean to it, and it actually genuinely did work, because I had this theory, me and Jacob talked about this yesterday, that it's
Yeah.
very likely that the angrier you are with the AI, the more likely you are to end your subscription. So it's possible that they created an algo for the algo, and if you're super nice to it, then like you'll just keep paying no matter what. So
Oh, yeah.
so
I'm gonna
like
try
yeah. So I think there actually are some baked in incentive structures for the AI to recognize.
Yeah, that's
So so
so
if you
that's
be and it
yeah.
actually did work last night. Like the more direct Jacob was, and the more not necessarily like upset or angry, but the like you know uh, more frustrated he was, the more likely it was that Cursor actually did what we were looking for.
Gotcha. Yeah,
So
I
that's
have
sort
some
of
cursor rules, but yeah, it mostly does what I ask it to do, but it feels like you just need to be a little more specific in what you want to
yeah,
accomplish, rather than being like too general. But yeah, I
100%.
hear you. Yeah.
The prompt engineering is a fun game.
Yeah. I mean, it helps to have like cursor rules defined for like bigger code bases that you're working with, so that you don't have to like write long paragraphs each time. But for demos like these, you just gotta sort of wing it. Okay, we got it. Zora coin creation successful. It got the hash. It got the address. Let's see if our bot replied to the cast. Cool. So we got our first iteration of Zoiner working on Warpcast. I'll share the link in the comments. Um, can I can share it on the private chat. Let's take a look at Basecamp. So it did go through. It's called test coin. A billion supply. Let's see if we can see it on Zora. Okay. This seems to be cool. So we got our test coin deployed successfully to Zora through Warpcast. Yeah, so this is what I was trying to accomplish before the workshop already. But basically, I'll walk people through how the project should be set up. Um, I'm gonna open source this project, so basically, you need to get an ANR API key, get an Alchemy API key, um, create create a WordCast account for your bot, which you can use to do different things than what we already did. Um, there's an important step that we need to do to make sure our bot can um, post. So I'm gonna direct you to this docs right here, and it's called Forecaster Bot with dedicated signers. So what you need to do is clone this repository by uh, the official Nanar example repo, and you just need to follow these steps so that you can generate a signer to make sure that your account can automatically reply to casts. So they've got like step-by-step instructions right here. Basically, you need to have like your recovery phrase that you uh, for the account that you created for the bot, and with that you need to uh, run these commands on the example repo and go to the optimistic etherscan and basically need to uh, execute this write call with all the fields, and all the values for these fields will be generated by the uh, project itself when you run uh, yarn get approved signer. So once you do that uh, and write this transaction, you'll be able to get a unique UUID that you can use to then set in the project. And all these instructions are right here in the env.example. So this is the signer UUID field, which you need to set for your bot to be able to respond to casts and write casts. The instructions are right here. And after that, you need to get your bot FID, and the FID you can basically get from going to an account and clicking on about, and you can get the FID right from here. What else do we need? We need the bot name. Um, even though we set the bot name to Zoiner right here, sometimes new accounts that are created on WordCast do not get indexed immediately by Nanar API. So what you need to do is I believe you need to set the format to an exclamation mark with the actual FID. So it's going to look something like this instead of the uh, bot's name. And I think that's about all we need. We need the wallet private key for the Zora SDK to be able to post create coins on your behalf. We need the RPC URL, and the port is basically your local configuration. But if you decide to deploy it on something like Vercel, you'll need to set it to that URL. So looks like we're all set. Something that we do need to improve upon is take out the default image, default IPFS URI, and replace it with whatever image is on the original cast. So if you go to this cast, for example, what our code will need to do is get the image URL from the original cast and upload that to IPFS in this metadata format. And that format is let's see. I think it created. Let's visit this URL. But yeah, that metadata format needs to be in accordance with the Zora SDK. So it needs to be in this metadata format. And you can accomplish that using something like Pinata or Web3 storage. I'll basically create an endpoint to upload the metadata and get the URL back so that we can use it to call the Zora SDK with that. But right now we're just using a hard-coded URI for it to just make it to work. I think other than that, we're all good. So let's try like a different prompt, probably. Let's do
Keep sending those base names, people. I would like to see your ETH address, your ENS, your base name, whatever you got. If you have yet to send your base name, go ahead and do it now. That's what I like to see. I like to see those base names. Keep sending them, people. Keep sending those base names. And if you need help getting a base name, let me know. DM me on Twitter. If you want to come build live, DM me on Twitter. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them into the chat. And we are happy to accommodate.
So right now we're trying to utilize. I don't know what it's trying to do here. I think it's I think it's trying to use like Pinata or something like that to upload to IPFS and get the CMD back.
I see.
But
I see.
I'm not sure if it's using Pinata or some other service.
I don't think it knows either, which it might be the issue. We might want to suggest. I guess we could suggest Jackal, the people that came on earlier this week. I'm not sure if you saw that presentation, but Jackal looked really interesting. Jackal Labs.
Oh, Jacko?
Yeah. Have you seen Jackal?
No.
I'm going to post it right here. Jackalprotocol.com. I'm going to post it.
We'll check it out.
See what happens when you come on Homebase Live. You get shilled on later streams. Yeah, the folks from here.
Jackal post. Jackal outpost.
So if Cursor can interact with Jackal, it might work. If not, then we might just have to use something else.
Smart contracts that allow other blockchains to connect to the Jackal data layer. Let's see, products. They got Jackal pin. So pinning might be okay. File hosting. That seems like IPFS. Yep. Security stores. Start pre-trial. It's going to sign up real quick. Oh, looks like they need like a card to get started. Just gonna skip that for now.
I'm like waiting for the test cast that ends up working so I can recast it.
Oh, it did. We had a cast that actually worked.
Oh shit! Yeah. The last one did. All right, I'm recasting
Yeah.
it.
Let me just. I think I posted it in the chat.
Let's go.
Let's see. I think it was one of these. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Post in the private chat. Yeah, I'm gonna send it into the public chat. All right, everyone. This is Skoho's live cast of it working. Your coin is now live on base.
Yep,
Test coin.
and we've got the test coin URI right here that I can share with you too.
Yo, everyone go buy test coin. Let's pump this shit. Test coin, bro. It's so ridiculous. Like if we
call it
actually,
like,
we're like, yo guys, this is gonna be the next big thing.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone started buying it. There's no volume, fortunately. $0. Pump it up, guys.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, this is
actually you do earn creator rewards, right? So if I do purchase, at least you earn rewards.
Yeah. So whoever tagged Zoiner, Naynard gets the Ethereum address, the verified Ethereum address of the forecaster user, and then like
fire.
Zora just makes it so much easy. Yeah, like that's why I got the idea of doing like a Clanker style bot for this workshop.
Okay, this is a ridiculous idea, but like, what if I wanted to like launch a bunch of coins, but I wanted to like give the creator rewards to somebody else?
Oh yeah, you can definitely do that. You can probably like tag. So we can like add logic, and you see right here, right? Zoiner coin this content. I give it the name test coin. Take your test, and then you can probably mention like creator at Scoho or at Luciano, so you can so the creator rewards get sent to that address. So we could definitely do that.
That's so.
But it's not. Sick. Yeah, it's not implemented yet, but we could definitely extend it. Like it's super easy to count the shit.
That'd be really cool because I mean I think that's something that like Jesse should do more of is like instead of coining all of his content and then just reaping the rewards from his distribution, like he should be like, hey, I'm coining this content about this project, about this thing, and all the creator rewards goes to them,
Oh yeah.
I'm sure he would love that. Actually, dude, Jesse will probably fucking be using this daily if if that functionality exists.
Oh yeah.
And same thing with Jacob. Like, you know what I mean? Like these people know that like they're gonna earn a shitload of rewards from coining shit no matter what. So they might as well give those rewards to people that actually makes a difference too.
Yeah, I think they're probably like really open to that too, and like having some bot like this that lets you do that easily is just gonna make it like so much better. So one new dependency that we need to have is an IPFS provider like Pinata, Web3 Storage, or Jackal, as you mentioned. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create a Pinata account, and I actually have one, but I'm gonna go ahead and create an API key so that
Be public. Yeah.
yeah,
The Homebase API key.
yeah, the Homebase API key.
Honestly, I would love to do something like that where you guys could just hop in and use like home-based resources.
Yep. Yep.
We'll get there. Honestly, we'll get there eventually. I also want to make like a directory for like eSIM and all of these other products that people need while they're building.
Oh yeah, I heard Karthik talk about that. It was really interesting. Yeah, Karthik's an OG. You know,
Actual OG,
looking forward
yeah,
to
like
the next
standing on the
global
shoulders of
time.
giants, OG.
Oh yeah, he's great.
And also Storacha, yeah. We could
Oh yeah,
try.
Sriracha. Yep.
I'm trying to think what might be the easiest for like Cursor to interact with, but maybe Storacha. Just coin it. I'm actually gonna go buy a little bit of that coin so you can earn some creator rewards for all your hard work.
Oh, appreciate it. We're gonna
No,
be creating a lot more coins by the end of this workshop, hopefully, and everyone can start like utilizing Zoiner, and that's when we'll need to like figure out like a percentage of the rewards go to Zoiner, so we can bake in some of that logic too, sort
yeah,
of like what Clanker fees does. So that
exactly.
would
Make it sustainable.
yeah, yep.
Dude, what if Zoiner uh like was the new front end for Zora?
I mean, they've been, I think Zora had like this wave hack on Akindo, and they were
Yep.
pushing this AI track. So I think this would be like a nice, like I think the wave hack is still going on. So anyone who wants to build AI with Zora, hopefully they can draw some inspiration from this workshop.
Have you seen how many people are participating in that? Do you know?
Um,
Have they been
they,
getting good traction? I'm actually genuinely curious.
I think they have like a $30,000 wave hack, 5,000 every wave. So
125 builders. Not bad, not bad.
4,000 OP. So that's yeah. So it's actually we're in the third wave of submissions, and I think we have like 8 waves until
Yeah.
15. That's good. So we just set the Pinata API key in the environment, and we gave Cursor some docs to how to upload to IPFS using Pinata, and hopefully this is gonna make some changes to extract the image from the cast and upload it to IPFS. upload a JSON with the image to IPFS and get it back and pass it on to Zora SDK. It's making us install the Pinata dependency right here. Do you have like a? I think I'm gonna pull like a picture for Homebase. And,
You think you're gonna what?
pull like a picture for Homebase and name it Homebase Coin.
Jesus.
If we got any other ideas, you know, we could go for that.
Let me. We could do. Maybe base batch, maybe because so like we could like join base batches. We'll do like a bases for everyone sort of thing. We could do like bases for base batches or bases for developers and coin it or something like that.
Cool.
We can make some real content.
Yep.
I don't want to coin Homebase too early because it will just become, yeah.
We got to be absolutely sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Like get it like, you know, to a production grade tool before we can start doing, like the big things. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's see. Where do you build the base is for image?
Oh, let me get that. Let me find that for you. I guess you also could coin like Zoiner.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you have a logo actually for it?
No, but we can
do like bases for Zoiner. Wait, let me try and find that for you. I know Aniri created it. Give me like literally 2 minutes. I think I can find it.
Cool.
In worst case scenario, we can just do the Zoiner logo, but basis for Zoiner would be funny.
Yeah.
Found it.
Nice.
Its base is for.xyz. And officially passed the 2,000 mark. Congratulations, Goho.
Nice.
You got 2,000 people watching you build.
Base
Don't get
is
nervous.
Let's go. Oh, there's a coin on Zora button right here. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's actually hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a schmoove.
Let's do. Just to be safe, we'll create a sample JSON and have
Fuck.
that. there. Actually, let's try if it works through the cast. Server's running. Okay, it did coin it, but not with the image that we specified. So we just gotta.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we gotta fix the pinata integration. Like, it's not. Maybe it's not being able to recognize the API key.
I'm gonna post a little link in the chat for everyone. We have some information coming about FarHack at FarCon this year. Skoho is a 2-time FarHack winner, actually.
Singapore and Based House. Yep.
Hell yeah. I absolutely love being able to tell people that.
Oh yeah. FarHack has been like amazing. Like FarHack was like around the first FarHack that I did was around the time that I started getting into Farcaster. That was like September last year in ETH Singapore, and that's where I met Luciano and got to meet all of the Farcaster community. So that was really like a nice core memory of me getting into Farcaster ecosystem. So
yeah, really appreciate that. I really try and be top of funnel for new people into the ecosystem, because it's really hard to find real people who actually care about real things at first. It's all speculation and bullshit and grifting at first. So it's important to find people that you care about, find people who actually want to build, who actually care about the real use cases, etc. Like that's the best way to kind of step inside, especially like the Farcaster ecosystem specifically, because there are just so many talented builders there. Everyone truly is passionate about the right things, or at least like at the very least creating real products that people actually use, which is very, very important in this ecosystem, in this industry that doesn't have,
yeah, like absolutely, I agree with you. And you have builders and you have experts who are willing to, help you out, give feedback. Veterans who've been in the ecosystem, veteran builders especially. We actually had QRcoin.fun reviewed by at we, so that was like like a surprise for me.
wait,
Like
that's sick.
yeah, Jake shared me like a Loom video, and we have like this real time functionality on QRcoin.fun that lets you see who connected their wallet, right?
Right.
Like right here,
Yeah.
and like randomly, I just saw at we connected, wallet, and I was like, what is he up to? And
Damn.
half an hour later, I get this Loom video from Jake, and
did you guys post it anywhere?
no, we didn't post it. We have like some good, like strong feedback, but yeah, we've got to like work on a few things. But yeah, I'm glad we, like got it. And basically the
He was
premise
giving you
was,
guys direct
like,
feedback.
yeah. And like
Got
he
it.
did a like video review, like he did like a Loom video, and
But
it
he
was
didn't
just
like post it, right? Like publicly? Like it was for
no,
you
no,
guys?
he didn't post it. Yeah, he
Got
didn't
it.
post it.
Because I kind of want to see it. It would have been cool if he did post it, just because like it would have been like a really interesting
Oh yeah.
It's not
I'll
a bad
ask
idea.
Jake if like if I could share with you, and hopefully like you can.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. But even if he like does that in the future, where like and he just creates these Loom videos and then posts them right to Farcaster, would be really funny. And then just asks the people and is like, "Yo, here's like what I think," and then just makes it like a series.
Yeah, because they're like really nice. Like he not only speaks from like a expert like power user perspective, but also like a regular
Mainstream.
user who's
Yeah.
like a mainstream user who who's probably not accustomed to all the crypto terms and terminology and features, and really tries to look at it from their perspective. And that's what we got out of the video, like to make it easier for everyone to get onboarded.
Yeah, and we know how hard it is for builders to take that perspective. So yeah, really appreciate that when it is there.
But I'm excited for FarHack, man. FarHack is done. Like, is it open to everyone or only people who's attending the?
I'm pretty sure this FarHack is only for the people that are there, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Dylan actually just posted the. Let me go check the docs.
We'll be on the lookout. Yeah.
Because he literally just posted. That's the link I just posted in the chat. So I'm gonna read it real quick and see.
Cool.
Because I know the summit, like the Builders Day, is in person, but I think FarHack should be accessible. It says Hackers will need to submit their projects on a dedicated FarHack portal by 8:30 a.m. on May 2nd in order to consider for bounties and prizes.
I mean, if anyone's able to submit, like, you know,
'Cause they
unless they
usually
have
are.
like a check that you know, like verifies your FarCon attendance.
Right. Which like Dylan might be planning something like that where like you have to have a builder's pass if you submit to actually be considered. But I'll text him right now and ask.
Got it.
But I would feel bad if you couldn't participate because like you deserve it.
That's all good. Yeah. Just deleting a bunch of casts here because I want my feed to be a little more clean. Let's see.
Okay. It's only attendees of Builders Day.
Oh, got it.
Unfortunately for
No
you,
worries.
I am sorry about that, and I
No.
will convince Dylan to make it more accessible next time.
Yeah.
I feel like if it were up to me, I probably would allow everyone to submit and then prioritize people that showed up in person for like demo day or whatever. But I would definitely
Yeah.
still let like more people outside of the actual demo day submit because I think like there's only like 100 people for Builders Day or something like that. You know, like it actually is a pretty small amount. Of course, like a bunch of
Oh,
cracks
really?
fucking devs and builders.
Oh yeah, crack devs definitely.
But it's like, I mean, dude, how many crack devs do you know that are actually down to hack for 24 hours? You know what I mean? Like, it's more likely that they
like,
just
especially during conferences, this is what happens, right? Like people, like they're there for networking, and you know, like
exactly.
most of the time they don't get time to build like constantly. So
That's literally how you ended up winning, like FarHack for Based House, and that's
Yeah,
why we opened up submissions because like some of the crack builders in the actual house either didn't have time to finish their project or like didn't have time to start a project, you know. And the ones that did win, you know. But still, like you actually had the time and attention to be able to put into like winning FarHack Based House, like no problem, you know. Like it's such a clear advantage not being at the conference.
Yeah, I had like a really good head start. You know, I was not there in person, but you know, I was like comfort of my home, just building away. So
yeah, everyone. So FarHack, I'll post it. FarHack.xyz is where Farcaster hackathons are hosted. Dylan started FarHack. I help him out. I run the FarHacks, boots on the ground, more or less. This one during FarCon will not be accessible to people outside of the conference, but in the future, they will be. So it's pretty unusual that we do this attendance only. Actually, we've only done it twice, and both times we're at FarCon. So like we really do try and prioritize the people that come in person and those builds. And as much as I'd love to accept more people, Dylan has decided not to. But in the future, when we do more FarHacks, it's very likely that that anyone can participate. So far, the only time that we have made it in person only is for FarCon specific FarHacks. But outside of FarCon, when we do FarHacks, we will make them more accessible. I'll convince Dylan. I promise.
looking forward to the next one after FarCon. I mean, it's kind of like a ETH Global in-person hackathon, right? So it makes sense.
I mean, let's be real. Like this is something that, hey Dan, if you're watching, this is something that Merkle should fund. You know, like imagine like once a quarter, like 5K. You know, in a like a mini app pool.
Yeah.
You know, we get like 10 to 20 submissions valid. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Like
I'm sure we'd probably get more, but
I remember back in the day when Frames V2 was just about to come out. Dan like randomly announced Frames Giving. It was like on Thanksgiving weekend, and like yeah, like 4 days to build something. And Frames V2 was like really new at that time.
yeah,
That was like a nice like mini hackathon type thing.
it was so nice. I mean, that's why FarHack Kampong was like perfect timing.
Yep.
Because there was like so much going on. and the ecosystem was really starting to like take hold.
That was like frames V1 days.
Yeah, those were the days, man.
Yeah, we couldn't even like think of frames V2 coming into the picture. Like it was like frames V1 was like amazing as it was, but like it just keeps getting better and better.
I think Frames V1 was better than Frames V2, and mini apps obviously like takes the cake.
I mean, yeah, in some aspects. Yeah, go ahead. Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, no. I mean, ultimately, you're right that like Frames V2 is a improvement, but from like a UI UX perspective, it was a drastic change, I would say. And then mini apps, I feel like really does kind of like it's the end game of Frames V2.
yeah, like frames V1, like you just had to do like these set actions, and just made it like really simple to use.
Right, and
And
it was simple and a net new experience.
yeah, I agree. But frames
then
V2 just like opens up the possibilities, like
right.
you can like create a game. I remember frames, the first frames V1 game. It was like a Farhack Kampung. I think
Oh, the like
Daniel.
the pokey
Yeah, the poker frame. Yeah, the
poker
poker
frame,
frame.
yes.
That was like really sick.
Dude, like that's the type of shit that is sick.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see if that's still. We had an unhandled error. What does that mean?
Maybe it's like deprecated, probably.
Let me. I think since Dylan updated Farhack recently, I mean he's been rebuilding Farhack like 50 times over. So this is like the 50th iteration. So I
Shout
think
out
some.
to it because yeah, the Farhack like repo was like really useful when I started like building out V2 frames. Like it like had like the starter repo before the starter repos. So shout out. So I think good stopping point for this workshop would be um, we're at a point where we can tag the bot and it'll create a coin, but the image will be hard coded. So we just need to figure out the IPFS part. And what I'm going to do right now is just push this to GitHub and uh, share the link so people can start contributing to it and make Zoiner really cracked.
I mean that's the
So
thing. That, yeah, I really want to let people start using it. This is a really cool idea, and of course people are
yeah.
gonna love it.
So as we draw to the end, I'll cast a Zoiner image, or like I'll cast a Zoiner. Uh, I'll tag the Zoiner and ask it to create a coin, and it'll create the same like horse animated image, but with like a different name. So and then you can share it possibly.
Perfect. I love it.
Cool. I'll use this link in the cast. See if I can download it. Make sure our bot is running. We can cast it. I'll delete this one. Let's see. Cool. Zora coin creation successful. Nice. And just to check if it actually got created, you can go to Zora directly and yep, Zoiner with our hard-coded GIF right here. And I can share the link of that too. Finally, I can commit all my changes.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Okay, but yeah, Dylan said it's a problem with when he updated the Farhack site. Some of the old teams aren't propagating properly
Oh, I see.
from the last version.
Okay. I shared the cast URL, the Zora post, and then the GitHub repository.
Let me share that with all. All right, people, there is the cast, and then I'm gonna send you. Actually, before I send the token, I'm gonna buy some. No, I'm gonna send it. I don't need a front run. I just sent it in the chat for anyone that is interested. I will go recast that. Let's do this. I'm not sure if we added the feature of like giving out someone else the creator fees, but if not, we can always hop on and do that on another session. We're doing more sessions on Monday.
Oh, sure. I'm happy to jump on that. Maybe not Monday, but maybe if you have like later on in the week. I don't know how long Homebase extends the sessions.
Well, actually, workshops are technically over, and now we're just doing these like
impromptu.
Yeah. I mean,
Nice.
I did plan as impromptu or as organized as the panel felt earlier today. That was also quite impromptu. I organized that in maybe 2 days. So, so I'm just gonna keep doing like where I see value. I'm just gonna get people together and get them to agree to come on.
Oh yeah, love it. Really dig what you're doing here. And like this is like my second live stream, like builder live stream ever. So really
Yeah, that's legit, bro. And I feel like the first one you had somewhere, I think around like a little under 1,000 people join.
Like 400 people. Yeah, 400.
It ended. I'm pretty sure it ended around like from people watching the recording. Last time I checked, you have about 1,000 views on that so far. And this one you literally have 2,000 people on live, so that's pretty good for your second builder live stream.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's a real experience. Just learning more and more. Last time I learned about, I think it was called Manifold, and this time I'm learning about Jackal, and just getting to learn a lot of new tech tools from everyone who's participating, and talk about always a good time chatting with you about the ecosystem, and yeah, just always good to chop it up.
I think this is where Homebase is really going to come in handy, is around like aggregating and creating a sort of directory for what people are building. and then just general, resources that most builders already use.
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting to look at like builders do their thing and uh, get familiar with ideas. I know mini app, like I got to learn a lot about mini apps. Shout out Limone. He showed
Yes.
us how to use Privy, so that's been really helpful for me, like personally, to get set up with Privy on my projects. So like things like these just uh, help the builder community as a whole.
Bro, this is sick. The where did you get that the video that you used for the
Oh,
coin?
the cursor just pulled it from somewhere randomly, but it
That looks
looks
like,
nice. Maybe
dude,
you
it
can
looks like,
set it to horse facts. Like he had like
yes.
a similar.
Bro, I
Um,
swear to God, this looks like something Jacob would coin. I'm trying to think of how to bring distribution to this. So I'm gonna coin this content name. Okay, all right. You got to think about what you want to do here, because now we can like let
I
people know there's
say maybe like give me like a little more time to get like production grade ready, so
perfect.
like
Yeah.
people can start using it, and
Oh yeah.
I'll let you know when it's ready, and then like you can start like yeah, people can start using it. it's
Yeah,
it's
it's no rush on my end. It's your product, your thing. You do what you want to do. I'm just here to support.
Oh yeah, love the support. Appreciate you as always.
Of course, of course. I owe you one. I'm glad I can pay it back.
Oh no, I owe you one too. I mean, yeah, we
This is the
builder support
positive
each other.
some symbiotic relationships we need to foster in this space.
Yes, absolutely.
And then if you also do happen to get the ability to give other people the creator awards by the time
Hmm.
that you're happy with like the set product itself, we can sort of do like a double pronged marketing approach and be
Sure.
like, hey Jacob, like look at this cool horse coin that we created by just tagging at Zoiner.
Yeah.
And then we'll also be like, yo, at Jesse, like we made the creator this dev in the ecosystem who we think deserves to get paid.
Yeah. So that maybe we can have the ability to like change it with like. So what I'm talking about is we have the creator tagged in um, like the initial post, and if you want to update it or like add more creators who want to get the split, maybe you can do that too.
Dude,
So
that's fucking perfect. So I mean, I don't know if you could do this, but if the default is the person who cast it, they get 100% of the creator rewards, and then the to like circumvent that, you would just add like
tag someone else. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Give 10% creator rewards to me, give 10% creator rewards to whoever, and then just yeah, create a little logic for it.
Yeah. Sounds perfect. Yep.
I'm not sure, like, would it be able to be dynamic enough where you could say something like, split it between these 5 accounts and then give 5% to me or something like that? Or is that
Yeah,
too like complex?
we could do some like we could add some logic. Right now it's like it needs to be like in a certain way to be formatted, but like as it keeps growing we can add some AI elements to it. But
Perfect.
right
Okay.
now like it just searches for like it searches for the words coin, and then it searches for name and ticker, and I'll do is like for this new update will be like creator, and then after that you can tag like the creator who you want the rewards to go to, so it'll work out.
Bro, I kind of feel like you just made Clank, like you literally just built Clanker live for Zora on on
Yeah,
Homebase. That's actually savage, bro.
dude, it wouldn't be possible without Zora SDK. Like Clanker uses like complex like the contracts and everything, it's like in-house. They don't have an SDK. I mean, they probably do have an SDK for like, they have like Clanker Terminal, I guess, but not sure how to use that. I've not used that yet, but yeah, like Clanker was the inspiration, and Zora delivered the
tools.
tools. Yeah,
Yeah, bro, it's actually
you
sick.
made an informal collab in this workshop.
And portable collab, that's great.
Yeah.
I just did a quote tweet of your cast, give it a small shill, and I'll leave it there so we can wait for it to be production ready
Nice.
when we go off on it.
Dude, Zoiner replied to your cast.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hi
Actually,
there, I'm Zorner. About that crits. Oh, bro.
yes, sir.
Wait, can I get the full screenshot in? I'm so close to getting the full screenshot.
Oh.
Okay, great. Actually, I can do pretty much a full screenshot. You know, this is actually my very first coin show.
Love it.
For the homies.
Let's fucking go.
All right.
Cool.
I'm going to start.
Zora Clanker workshop in the books.
I love it, yo. First Zoiner workshop, down. All right, I'm gonna post the workshop or the GitHub, and then we're gonna start wrapping up the workshop.
Sounds good.
If anyone wants to go check out the GitHub, go feel free. Sco, if there's any few last things you'd like to say or do, feel free, and we shall continue this next week. If you want to hop in over the weekend, I should be around as well. Just let me know if there's any time that you're like, yo, I happen to be building right now. Like, are you free? Just hit me up and we can jump.
Oh yeah, for sure. Shout out to Homebase, shout out to Luciano. I actually want to learn more about base batches. Not sure how anyone can participate, so probably gonna reach out to you on that.
Oh, you gotta apply today. Today is the last day to apply.
Oh, okay. So
and where are you based technically?
I'm based in Asia. I'll just put
APAC.
Put that.
There's a base batch APAC track. So make sure you apply to the APAC track.
Okay. So is the deadline passed?
The deadline is literally tonight.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So you have 21 hours to apply.
All right.
I'm actually gonna post that right now. Everyone go to base batches. I'll do a tweet on Homebase as well, like last day to apply. Everyone go to basebatches.xyz. I'll say it one more time, basebatches.xyz. You have 21 hours left to apply for the upcoming base build-a-thon.
Really nice looking site.
Alrighty, and that is everything for today. I do have to head out, so feel free to keep building Skoho, but I'm gonna end the stream here. The funny thing is, I would actually normally just let you keep going because I can leave the stream and it will stay on, but I'm not sure.
No, I'm gonna dig too, but yeah.
Yeah, because I mean the stream would probably just run for a few extra hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks again. Really appreciate you. You are the fucking man. This was literally so much fun. I love doing it. I absolutely love doing it.
Me too. I just keep looking forward to it, and each new workshop is a new idea, and
literally
new opportunity to keep building and maybe inspire some more builders out there too.
I don't know if you had a chance to look at the check-in that Jacob built yesterday on Homebase.love. Let me.
Do share that.
I'm gonna share that with you right now, dude. Check this out. You might even want to bring it up live real quick.
All right, let's do it.
So I want to build base match on top of this to some extent, or like have the two work with each other in some way, shape, or form, because this is a way to like check in physically at these in real life workshops. So if we can connect people's like social graph, their Farcaster to also, their check-in to their wallet, we'll have a lot of very useful data, and it will it will clearly be a real person because they would have to actually have been there in real life, and we can cross-reference the check-in data with the Luma data and the organizer's in-person experience. So
maybe even like a talent protocol.
Exactly.
Verified credentials and whatnot.
Yeah, dude. So we can create like a pretty robust data layer, like for base builders and base users in general.
Yeah, I agree. So,
which is something most people can't say, and it's way better than scanning people's eyeballs, in my opinion. So.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I mean, I had my eyeball scanned. Back in Singapore.
In Singapore?
Yeah, did you?
No. I refuse to get my eyeball scanned.
That's valid.
In theory, if the amount of world that you ever get, like if it actually ends up being worth scanning your eyeball, we'll know in like a decade. So, and I'll still be able to scan my eyeball then. So if it really works,
I
then
didn't think it was where. Yeah,
I'll be the way I see it is WorldCoin only works if we're all forced to participate in the network effect, which may happen if like literally world governments are like, yeah, we use WorldCoin as our identity. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen.
I
But
don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, let me say this: I definitely don't think it's going to happen, which is why I haven't scanned my eyeball. But you know, of course, I don't see any reason to scan sooner than later. Let me say that.
Yeah. It's like wholly banked up on the idea of identity, and yeah, it just like loses its. Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but like, uh, the identity part is kind of everything that it relies upon, and
Right.
other
So
than that, like, I
I
don't
mean,
see the value.
this is my biggest gripe with WorldCoin is like every single person needs to be a real person that's being onboarded, and like when you have people gaming it and like convincing people to go stand in line to scan their eyeball to send somebody somebody else their world, you know what I mean? It's like,
There's just
and
more resources. Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's really really problematic. Like you have to make it like if you're going to do something like that, you actually have to make it impossible for people to game, and you have to take execution more seriously. Like you have to onboard people in a way that is like educational and real, and they understand what they're doing. You know what I mean? Not in like
Right.
not in the complete opposite way that they have been doing.
Yeah, like, scanning everyone's like iris is it's just like too intensive. Like, it's not sustainable. Like,
And
it's not like accessible to everyone in the world too. Like, not everyone has access to the world orb. So it's just yeah, you got to think about those things.
yeah, exactly. When you were getting your eyeballs scanned, did the people scanning the eyeballs even have any idea what WorldCoin was? Because 9 out of 10 times I've met the scanners, they're absolutely clueless about what WorldCoin is, how it works, and they're just there scanning people's eyeballs.
Yeah, they were not the technical guy for sure. Like, I can tell you that.
I
Yeah.
literally don't understand that. Like, I don't understand how you're going to be onboarding people with salespeople. Like, that's just fucked up to me. It's like you're really going to be doing like showgirl booths for scanning eyeballs rather than like educating people on what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. I mean,
It's just abysmal
yeah.
execution in my opinion. And a lot of the tech is great. I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of
tech
the
is
talent
good.
they've poached is highly qualified, but I don't trust. I do not trust like that.
Yeah, like, the whole point of Web3 is to be decentralized and
Yeah, and trustless.
and trustless. Yeah,
It's like,
So-
trust me, bro.
it's a source. Trust me, bro.
All right, I do have to go, so I'm going to end it here. But once again, thank you so much for joining us. You are fucking incredible, and I can't wait for the next one.
Thank you, Luciano, and yeah, looking forward to the next one. Peace out, everyone.
Peace out, everyone. We hope to see you again next week.